What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Thundercats favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Mattel Lion-O from their Classics collection, which my buddy Brian Brink let me hold, and he is absolutely positive that they will not be finished in the line, so he's like, might as well review them, which is cool. He comes with a number of accessories. We'll talk about it. I'm not a huge Thundercats fan. I remember him, but I remember the small sword, and then you Thundercats. So, and then you get the big sword, right? We'll talk about the paint job on both. They both have this like metallic turquoise accent. I'm not sure if I can get you guys to see that or not, but we're gonna try. Oh yeah, I think you can see that. And then the red and yellow paint, and then the silver blade, and that looks good. It's the same for this one with the symbol and the accents and so on. Exact same thing, you know, just a broadsword, and it looks good. And he holds it in this hand fairly well, but not so much in the other hands, which are limited. So this is a right holding hand. Then you get another right holding hand. Now I'm only going off the baggie that he gave me. This doesn't hold it. It doesn't really hold this one that well either, so that's not great. And then he obviously, so he has his lion hand, which pops off of this peg here, so you get a swivel joint there. This is done really well, like the little knuckle accents and the sculpt and whatnot of the fur and all that. It's a nice job. And then you can put this hand on here, and I will say that this figure should have had a posing hand. Why? Because he only has really one accessory. So there should have been some posing hand options. And the other accessory that he has is this, so if he doesn't have it activated, he can have this, and you just peg that on there, and you have it hanging at his hip, and that's pretty cool. And it has the little sword in there and all that, so I dig that. So let's talk about the figure. The head, nice face paint. The eyebrows are painted, the eyes, like all that stuff. It's done fairly well. The hair is all sculpted well and has a wash on it, so that's good. The head, it feels like it's just on a ball peg. It feels like a wide. It's just a wide ball peg, but it should have been a ball hinge or a double ball peg, or you could have done the whole neck as a separate piece. But let's be real, they wouldn't do that, even though they should. But sculpt and everything else is fine. You do get the swivel. You do get the slightest bit down. You do get a fair bit up. So there you go. Then we have his suit, which is all sculpted and painted. So that's blue, 2 shades of blue. And I think it's on... Oh no, it's a blue piece of plastic. So I guess it's the skin tone that's painted. That's interesting. And then we have an ab crunch. Get you that far up, that far down, which is minimal. The abs are painted and sculpted up through, so that works well. And then you get the swivel, which doesn't really destroy the sculpt that much, which is kind of interesting. And nice. You got a disc hinge shoulder, get you up to there, and then around, which is fine. Bicep swivel here, a little tight. And the skin has a shading on it. It's not the best, but I think it works fairly well for what this is. And then you have the different skin tone here, and then the wrist swivel, hinge, in and out. All the hinges are in and out for all the hands. Same for the other side. Because of the sculpt, you do get the arm a fair bit across the chest, which is nice. And you do get the arms a fair bit back. So that all works pretty well. The belt is all sculpted and painted really well. Blues, grays, and then the symbol. So that works. Universals for hips, and this is a soft pliable plastic for the trunks here. So you get the legs out to here, forward and back to there, which is not perfect, but I think it will do. Thigh swivel built into the bottom, single jointed knee, as well as a single jointed elbow. There's something to be said for this, okay? So the range of motion is not as good as a Marvel Legend or a Star Wars Black Series figure in the knee. And the elbows, as we know, it's about similar to a Black Series, not as good as a Legend in terms of range, right? But it does make for a cleaner figure, you know, so there is something to be said for that. Worth noting. Skin tone has that wash on it as well, or it might be an airbrush, I can't really tell, but it does look nice. We got a boot swivel, and then we got an ankle tilt all the way down to there, so that's nice. Up to there, that's okay, and then the rocker is built in. And there he is with a couple other Lion-O figures. to kind of give you an idea of his size, and also like how good that sculpt is. You know, like in comparison to some of these other face sculpts and stuff, which just really don't quite hit the nail on the head. You know, like this one looks a little too cat-like for me. This one looks more mature. Maybe this one look a little bit more animated, but this looks like it's a more mature sculpt, so I definitely appreciate that. And he's giving you the thumbs up because he's got nothing to hold in that hand. And scale-wise, there he is next to a Marvel Legend. So, you know, a fair bit bigger. Final thoughts-wise, I think the sculpt is cool. The articulation is okay. We could get a little bit more out of the elbows, but that would not do as much for the sculpt. We could get a little bit more out of the knees, but that would not do as much for the sculpt. We could get a little bit more out of the head and neck, and that probably could have been done with no problem. The paint is applied pretty well. It's not 100% perfect. There's sketchiness around the borders here, and it's throughout, but it's not problematic. It's not enough issues where I would say it's a mess. It's just not perfect. It is a little weird that they have the shading down here on the legs and on the arms, but not on the abs and stuff like that. Little stuff like that does drive me nuts. But not as much as the accessories not really being able to fit into the hands, and not as much as the hands in a constant holding position with only one sword. And you gave interchangeable hands, so I feel like one of them should have been opposing hand. That stuff really gets underneath my skin. But I think it's a pretty decent Lion-O, and I think if you were going to get a Lion-O, there's no reason to not get this one. So that's kind of how I feel about it. I'm no Lion-O expert, but as I feel like as far as Lion-Os goes, it's probably just fine. But it's not perfect, but it could be a lot worse. And like, if I were a big Thundercats fan, I'm not anti-Thundercats, of course, but if I were a big Thundercats fan, I would definitely pick this up for myself. So I hope that answers some questions. You know, I'm not a subject matter expert, but I had the opportunity to take a look at it, and I thought people might be interested. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care. What's up, guys? I just wanted to give you guys a quick update of what's going on. So, as many of you may or may not have heard, my computer recently had some serious technical issues. So, I just want to show you what I've been doing in order to keep everybody entertained. So, review table's been here. Usually I used to go upstairs and use my computer, but since my computer is no longer in the works, I got stuff there that I'm working on. That's my daughter's, but Smeagol usually brings it down to chew on for a bit. My buddy Adam Russman let me hold his Mac Mini. So I've had this Mac Mini hooked up to this television with all the stuff through a shared drive, and then of course Final Cut to record stuff, and then files over here in order for the channel to not skip a beat. So I just wanted to take a brief, instead of a skit today, a brief second and thank Mr. Russman for letting me hold on to this. And if you guys have enjoyed not having a lapse in any sort of videos, you should thank Mr. Russman as well. Later.